Assalamu alaikum students. Today we will discuss a novel under the paper fiction and non-fiction. Name of the novel is The Mill on the Floss and it is written by George Eliot. Here is the time period of George Eliot, that is from 1819 to 1880. A short introduction of the writer is that she is a British novelist and her real name is Mary Ann Vance, whereas she adopted another name, George Eliot, for writing. There were many reasons um, for the females to write under the names of males, as 18th century till 18th century English society was male dominated society and women were not at all so free to go to universities or to seek higher education, as well as driving or any other idea related to freedom was not at all accepted and admitted in that society. But by the end of that century, women got freedom to some extent. They also applied for the right of vote and higher education, as well as many other departments which they wanted to join. But at the time of George Eliot, he adopted the name George, which is a masculine name, and most of the critics are in favor of using this name because while living in male dominated society, it was a compulsion for the females to be secured under using masculine names, because that masculine society had the readers who wanted to read the material written by males. So, for that publication security, as well as for well appreciation and good admiration from the society, Mary Ann Vance adopted this name George Eliot. Uh, Along this, there were many other views related to using this name, and some are related to the affair which he had with George. That's why he used this name. But I think we should be limited to the positive side of using George Eliot name. Here is a short introduction of the work. Genre wise, The Mill on the Floss is a novel, and the type of novel is it is psychological fiction. Highly, it is based on the psychology of the characters, especially the heroine Maggie. Type of fiction is it is a domestic novel related to domestic politics, domestic issues, domestic affairs of life, which through which one is going through or suffering. This novel was published in 1860 and it was the first published novel in three different volumes. It was not published in one compact volume, but it was published in three different volumes. A period of 10 years to 16 years has been covered in the present novel. The Mill on the Floss is based on 10 to 16 years of lifespan. The author has tried to present a detailed description of the lives of Tom and Maggie Tulliver, who are siblings. They grew up at the Dorlcote Mill, which is situated at the bank of the River Floss near St. Oaks in England. The setting of the novel is late 1820s or early 1830s. So keep the setting or the year of this novel in your mind to understand the novel completely, and also keep all those scenarios related to psychology in your mind which happen to create problems for the characters of Tom as well as Maggie. Who are the characters? So far as the main characters of the novel, Maggie Tulliver is the heroine. Mr. Tulliver is Maggie's father. Tom Tulliver, Maggie's brother, to whom she is very much attached. Mrs. Bessie Tulliver, Maggie's mother. And then Philip Wakeham and Stephen Guest, these are also very important characters. But along with these major characters, there are many other, or we can say that a longer list of minor characters also present in this novel. Who is the narrator of the novel? The narrator is unnamed and he narrates both as an individual, remembering Dorlcote Mill as it was in Maggie's lifetime, and as an omniscient narrator who clearly knows more than any individual could of the thoughts and motivations of the characters. So, students, keep this thing in your mind that the narrator is manifold here. That is not only for one purpose. One time, he is an individual who is remembering Dorlcote Mill as it was in Maggie's lifetime. And at the same time, that narrator is an omniscient narrator who knows each and everything about the individual lives of all the characters in this novel. The latter, who is an omniscient narrator, its style is predominant and his or her use of the first person is rare. He or she has a sense of humor which is very satiric. The narrator is reflecting on the lives of the Tollivers from 30 years after Tom and Maggie died. And so, this slide is important to understand the narrator as well as it is also related to the style of the writer, means style of George Eliot, which she adopted in writing this novel. Who is Maggie Tulliver? Now we will discuss her character in detail. Maggie is the very intelligent, very conflicted protagonist of The Mill on the Floss. When the novel begins, she is young, clever, imaginative, adoring of her brother, and always getting into trouble. When she was imaginative, it means that she has some psychological facts in her mind or in her life which are creating some problems for her. As she grows up, she regularly feels conflicted between acting how her extended family and community would want her to and following her own desire. So there was a conflict between the desires which she had in her heart as well as the thoughts which she had in her mind related to the family. Or we can say that the family wanted to see Maggie in another personality, but she wanted to be another personality. The strong pull of both means she is often indecisive, and though she tries to find peace in renouncing all desire for education, music, love, literature, and in the end, this only makes her feeling stronger. So, the desires of Maggie were related to education, music, love, literature, as well as equality with her brother. Even when she chooses based on her desire, though, as when she starts to elope with Stephen, she ultimately feels the pull of her family and community too strongly and can't bear to follow through on gaining happiness at their expense. Tom Tolliver. Tom Tolliver is Maggie's older brother by 4 years, and he is athletic, prideful, obsessed with justice, and usually rather unforgiving. He has very little book smarts, but he is practical, determined, and willing to sacrifice everything to regain his family's honor. His success comes at the expense of real human companionship, and his insistence on justice and distrust of Maggie drives a wedge between them until just moments before they both die. Uh, in the start of the novel, they have been shown someone else, but with the passage of time, their attachment has been shown, and in the end, there was a great misunderstanding between two siblings. Mr. Tulliver, father of Maggie and Tom. Mr. Tulliver is Maggie and Tom's father. At the beginning of the novel, he is the proprietor of Dorlcote Mill, which has been in his family for generations. He is hot tempered, stubborn, and litigious, although also intelligent. Though uneducated and very generous and loving towards Maggie and his sister, Mrs. Moss. He is proud of Maggie's intelligence, although he is not sure what use it will be to a girl. He is also prideful, especially when he comes in conflict with his wife's very opinionated sisters. And this, along with this tendency to go to the law, leads to him losing all of his assets, including his mill and farm. Uh, Maggie's aunts were not considering her father a good person. He believes that all of his troubles are caused by lawyers, particularly Mr. Wakeham, and paying back all of his debts and punishing Mr. Wakeham become his two obsessions after he loses everything until the moment he dies. So, from the beginning till the end of this novel, Mr. Tulliver is all the time under crisis. That's why this novel is considered to be entitled as psychological fiction as well as domestic issues. Mrs. Bessie Tulliver. Mrs. Tulliver is Maggie and Tom's mother. She is blonde, comely, a woman who is very simple, and though she loves her children, she greatly favors Tom and wishes Maggie were blonder and simpler herself. She is very proud to be a Dodson and is particularly devastated by the loss of her household goods and furniture when Mr. Tulliver goes bankrupt. She knows herself to have more depth than originally expected towards the end of the novel, when she leaves Tom and the mill to live with Maggie in her shame. Uh, in fact, Dodsons were all the time proud because they were rich and they had many things to be feel proud in it. For example, the name of the family, the wealth, as well as the status. Whereas Tullivers were suffering from different crises, financial crises, especially, and afterwards psychological crises. That's why there was a conflict between uh, the male and the female, as well as the husband and wife. Philip Wakeham. Philip Wakeham, Philip Wakeham is the son of Mr. Wakeham due to an accident in infancy. He is crippled, and though he is very intelligent and talented, he feels bitterness over physical inferiority. Being crippled all the time, he was an object of fun by other people. That's why he was feeling bitterness just because of that physical inferiority as well as physical problem. He is a student with Tom at Mr. Stallings, and though he never comes to be good friends with Tom, he is immediately drawn to Maggie and ends up loving her for his whole life. This thing is very important, that Philip Wickham was a class fellow of Tom, but he was not at all very much interested in that personality, even though he got attraction towards Maggie. Though he is clever, very well educated, and a talented artist, he believes that his breadth of interest and talents mean that he is not particularly talented at any one thing. So he was a multi talented personality. Stephen Guest. Stephen is Mr. Guest of Guest and Co.'s only son. Guest and Co.'s means Guest and Company, and that company was running with the help of Mr. Guest. So Stephen Guest is son of that rich person. When he appears in the novel, he is 25, handsome, rich, clever, and conceited. He plans to be a politician. He is very good friends with Philip and tacitly, although not explicitly, engaged to Lucy, who he thinks will be a charming wife in future for Stephen Guest. When he meets Maggie, however, he is overcome and quickly falls in love with her. Now Lucy was in back of his mind, and now he was engaged with Maggie. He does not appear in the novel until after Mr. Tulliver's death. Lucy Dane. Lucy is Maggie's cousin. In childhood, she is the epitome of everything Maggie is not: pleasant, quiet, passive, doll like, and never troublesome. So these were the qualities which were present in the personality of Lucy, and being readers, we needed all these things in Maggie, but unfortunately, we found all these things in Lucy. As an adult, Lucy is pretty, kind, and generous, although she has never had any true difficulty to test her spirit except for her mother's death, and eventually Maggie and Stephen running away together. Mrs. Jane Glegg. Mrs. Tulliver's oldest sister, Mrs. Glegg, is Tom and Maggie's least favorite relative who, when they are children. Although she and her husband are well to do, she takes a great deal of pride in frugality, like all the Dodsons, and probably more so than anyone else. She believes firmly in pride of family, though she is not very generous with the Tullivers when Mr. Tulliver loses everything, going so far to say that it is a judgment from God. She is later one of Maggie's strongest defenders after her scandal with Stephen. So, the one good thing which we always find in the personality of Mrs. Jane Glegg, that she was all the time by the side of Maggie, who is our heroine, and we have different types of sympathies in our heart for Maggie. Bob Jekin, Mr. Dean, Mr. Glad, and there are some other minor characters in the novel, which will be discussed in next lecture.